Hi there. I'm Caleb. I'm a marketer at SendPulse, and we're going to get started with our Black Friday webinar in a few minutes. It should take about an hour, maybe a little bit less. You'll get plenty of tips, and your Black Friday will be the best one yet. I see we got people from all over. I'm glad that you guys came. We can go ahead and get started. So today, of course, we're going to be talking about Black Friday. I will save you from the generic intro. What is Black Friday? All that we need to know is that it is the day following Thanksgiving, which will be November 27th this year. And that is the largest shopping day of the year. That is what matters to us. Today we're going to focus primarily on the e-commerce, but some things will apply to brick and mortar stores or any different kind of business. When you think Black Friday, you think shopping. So it is our job to get those shoppers to your store. So I will take a look at some numbers. This is what makes Black Friday so important. So you can see here, 40% of shoppers made a purchase in 2019. These numbers are up from business as usual shopping. You can expect a higher conversion rate. So we need to bring people to your site or store to take advantage of the increased purchasing. Last year, 93.2 million people shopped online, and this is expected to continue to rise. So again, you do not want to miss this opportunity. I will say Black Friday throughout this presentation, but what we're really talking about is this kind of holiday shopping weekend that is beginning earlier and earlier, and I'll show that in a little bit later. So we can expect more than 100 million online shoppers over that weekend this year. So you want to be ready. The next stat is really important, and we'll talk about it more later. You'll understand why we need to worry about this. But 40% of 2019 Black Friday purchases were made on mobile. This is going to be really important for your website optimization, your marketing materials. We need to understand that people are on mobile in 2020. And the important numbers, what everybody is here for. Last year, total online Black Friday sales were $7.4 billion and $9.4 billion spent on Cyber Monday. So like I said, we're talking about a range of shopping holidays here. So you might ask, okay, you have all these great stats from last year, but what about this year? 2020 is unlike anything we have had before, right? But here's an encouraging graph. This is talking about the budget that Black Friday shoppers expect to spend, and you can see that the bulk of people expect to spend about the same as they spent last year, with 20% above and below that. So we don't have a lot to worry about it in terms of it's not like all of your business will be gone. But we need to make sure that we are targeting these people to bring them and take advantage of the changes we're having even in this strange time. Digital marketing is alive and well, so don't get too scared yet. And here's some more projections moving forward. Researchers expect this year to closely follow last year. Like I said, we'll have around 8 billion in online sales. Again, everything is going to be focused on online more than ever, of course, given the pandemic. Brands will start their promotions early. I mentioned that Thanksgiving Day shopping has increased over time. However, it is expected that there will be a longer shopping period this season. And some people expect that Black Friday will become more of like a Black Friday week kind of event. So be prepared for that. And like I was saying, brands are going to blend this into a longer week period. So let's take a look at a graph of that. So this is really what I was saying, represents what I was saying. Well, it shows an increase in overall spending for the entire weekend of Black Friday, starting with Thursday, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, Cyber Monday, of course. And we expect this to grow again as well. While we're still here, I forgot to mention one thing. It is expected that the impact of Cyber Monday will be slightly less this year. As I mentioned, and we all know, online shopping is really going to be the premier shopping for Black Friday. So Cyber Monday is like Black Friday is also online now, right? So there will be less of a distinction between Black Friday and Cyber Monday. It's been suggested. So let's get to the reason that we are all here. Enough preamble. We all know what Black Friday is. Let's work on creating your Black Friday strategy. You can break this up in a number of different ways, but the way I see it, there are 4 distinct periods when you are setting this up. First, you need to create your offer. Then, of course, you need to promote your offer. Then you need to make your sales, everyone's favorite part. And lastly, we want to retain the customers that you sell to during Black Friday. So let's get started with creating an offer. This first step is not trivial. Creating an offer can be something that is a little stressful for companies. You want to make sure that you're keeping a healthy profit margin, but also offering a discount or another offer that is appealing to customers. So here you can see some of the trends in average Black Friday discounts. One thing that is really important to notice here is that there is a huge trend for discounts based on what you are selling. So electronics have higher discounts than toys and games, of course. So this is a little bit niche specific. So of course you'll want to do your own research and look into your competitors, see what kind of offers are in your field. But in general, you can see there are no offers lower than a 20% discount and nothing above 40%. So that's a nice rule of thumb, but I would recommend using a margin calculator, and we will share that with you. That will allow you to see, based on if you're removing a percentage from your price or a dollar amount, what your bottom line is. It's a really common issue for younger businesses to offer a deal that is simply too good. And you want to make sure that you do not do that this Black Friday. So while we're talking about offers, there's of course a wide range of things that you can choose from. I focused in the previous graphic on a percentage discount, but you can also offer simple $25 off your purchase of 100 or more, right? Lots of options like this. Again, use a margin calculator. Want to make sure that you're not losing money here. Then we have buy one, get one offers, right? You are all familiar with this. These are really effective. Next, free shipping. Everybody loves free shipping. It's always a good idea, and you don't have to use this as a standalone offer. Of course, you can wrap up a few different of these in different ways. I would recommend focusing on only a few because you don't want to overwhelm your customers or yourself with creating several deals at one time. Next, you have bonus gift. This is a simple gift as you would expect, but here we have the option to include, like with your purchase of $50 or more, you will get a free branded gift or something like this. This is also really popular and might just be what you need to push people over the edge and make a purchase. Then we have extended service plans. This is super popular for system as a service companies or any subscription-based company. Offer 2 years for the price of 1, or an extra free trial, an extended free trial. These kind of things are really enticing, and they get people to use your service and become recurring customers. Next, we have flash deals. This is famous. Amazon is famous for their flash deals, but it is not their own idea. You can use flash deals too. This is, of course, when you make something available at a discounted price for a short period of time. This is where we'll get into push notifications, SMS, and chatbots to send these flash deals out right away so that your customers are ready to scoop up their deal while it is still available. And lastly, exclusive deals. This would be if you have a group of very devoted customers and you want to offer them some special discount. You can do this using segmentation, and we'll talk a little bit about that as we move on. Of course, these are not the only offers available, but this is what you are likely to see. So you want to stick with, as I said, only a few of these. Don't overwhelm your customers. So now you have designed your offer. It is the most difficult step in this process, promoting your offer. But don't worry, we will go over everything you need. So let's start with the most important question. Who is your target audience? This is where you want to draw up a customer persona and really understand who you're selling to. Likely you have this information, but you really want to understand, maybe take a step back and look at your target audience so that you are targeting the right people at the right time in all of the future steps. Then another critical question to ask, what channels are you going to use to promote your brand? You have lots of options. Today we'll focus on 3, and I'll give you some tips about a few extra ones. So first we have email, then social media marketing, SMS or text message marketing, and we'll talk about a few bonus ones at the end. So let's move on to email marketing here. All right, here it is. So promoting your offer with email. It is easy to think that it is 2020. Why are we talking about email? But there are more than 4 billion email users. And I'm guessing you joined this webinar by email. So email is alive and well. And more importantly, it is the most cost-effective channel for digital marketing. And you can get a return of 40 to 1 in certain industries. This is what you want to be using. And if you have less than 15,000 subscribers, you can use email for absolutely free with SendPulse. I'll show you a little bit more of this at the end. Next, email offers a ton of design flexibility. We'll talk about countdown timers, personalization, and how to use eye-catching templates to get your customers to your site. And lastly, you'll need an email marketing platform. SendPulse happens to be one of them. There are tons. And as I said, I'll show you a little bit about our service at the end, and you can get started for free. So let's look at some Black Friday emails. Seems like a good idea. And there's something that you can see in all of these, tying them together. The offer is front and center. On the left, we have bows, and they have included a little bit of gamification, if you will, where there is a scratch off. And in this case, it means the discount that you can earn is slightly different from person to person. And this is exciting. This builds interest and makes your subscribers more likely to convert. Then below the scratch off section, there's 2 simple products with their prices that show the discount. This email is not too busy, but provides just enough information to entice a user looking for some new Bose products. Then we have postable. I included this one because it has an excellent CTA to the cards. And again, the offer is front and center, clearly visible. If you want to save 25%, now is your chance. Next, we have Grammarly. Again, front and center, 55% off, great CTA. These are some ideas that you will want to include in your own email template. So the do's and don'ts of Black Friday emails. Do get creative. As you saw, the Bose email had some sparkles on it. You have much more design headroom than you normally do with Black Friday emails. These are not your typical business as usual emails where you need to have a simple template, you can get a little more creative here because we are all in the shopping mood. Everybody knows Black Friday means crazy sales. So don't be afraid to get creative. Do make your offer clear. This is what we saw in the previous emails. The discount is front and center again. Make sure that you do this. Everyone needs to know what you are offering. And as I mentioned in the previous slide, use a powerful CTA. This is what is going to take your customers from their inbox to your site. Make sure that your CTA is a button. First of all, we don't want to use links. And make it interesting, something exciting. We can use learn more, but maybe we can say, get my discount, save 15%, something like this to really drive people to your site. Next, make your emails adaptive. As we saw, a majority of your subscribers are going to be opening their emails on your phone, opening your email on their phone, and your website, by the way. So make sure that everything you have is adaptive. With SendPulse, your emails are automatically adaptive. In terms of your website, we all know there is nothing worse than trying to go to a poorly optimized mobile site. You don't want to be one of them. So make sure everything is ready to go for mobile this Black Friday. About the don'ts of Black Friday email marketing. Not only for Black Friday, in all email marketing, don't get spammy. Now, as I mentioned, people are primed and expecting emails on Black Friday. So you can increase your sending frequency. However, don't go overboard. Make sure that you are offering exactly what you need, exactly what your subscribers are interested in, but not sending too many emails. Don't send your email too late. As I said, Black Friday is creeping closer and closer to the beginning of Thanksgiving week, and everyone is primed to see deals. Make sure that they are seeing your deal. You can send an email a week in advance, 10 days in advance. And what we're talking about here is a series of emails, right? So you will send maybe one on that Monday, on Wednesday, on Thursday. Feel free to move this timeline up. People are already expecting Black Friday. Lastly, don't make your email too busy. I mentioned that you have lots of design headroom, and that's true. But it is easy to overdo it. So make sure that your email is easy to read without going overboard. Next, we'll talk about social media marketing for Black Friday. I am sure on your Instagram or Facebook, you are already seeing Black Friday ads. So let's learn how you can make your own. Some things we need to keep in mind when we get started with social media marketing. Let's understand where your clients hang out. This means if you are based on the demographic that you cater to, different social media websites may be more popular with them. So you want to understand what your audience uses, what platform your audience uses, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, what have you. You want to make sure that you are using the platform that is relevant to your audience. Next, you want to create organic looking content. I won't say much about this. It will become clear when we move it to the next section, but the idea is you can make an ad that is not clearly an ad. You can still offer your deal, show that there's 10% off, but it doesn't have to be a bright, flashing advertisement. Next, you want to schedule your posts. This will take a lot of stress off of you. You can set up your posts to be sent out on time, no problems. This also allows the previous issue that we talked about of over or underdoing it to stop. You can see a clear, defined schedule of what you're working with this Black Friday. Then, customer engagement. Social media is social, right? Your job is to interact with people who comment on your content, stay in touch with your leads to be, and existing customers using social media. Next, there are a huge variety of formats: video, text, images, of course, all kinds of things. So feel free to mix it up with your social media marketing campaigns. I have two examples here. The first is from Patagonia. I believe this is on Twitter. This was last Black Friday, and you can see this is a really simple tweet. One image, very small text. Their branded hashtag, Love Our Planet. This is important. You want to make sure that you are using branded hashtags. This allows people to share their own content, user-generated content, as well as find other posts from your brand or related brands if we're using a hashtag that is not branded. So you can see Patagonia, again, short, sweet, simple. It's very effective. Then we have another ad, and this was on Facebook. And this is where I wanted to highlight the hashtags. Look at these hashtags. And you want to create at least one branded hashtag. Here they used surplus. But you want to come up with a branded hashtag to use to have people share your content and create some of their own. And here is an Instagram story. This is a really popular way to advertise for brands, and it's pretty easy to set up. You create your business Instagram account, and then you can share information here. And again, you see there are even hashtags here in video format. So don't be afraid to try something new. And again, video content. And another really important thing to remember when you are working with social media marketing is that you want all of your content to be vertical. Again, because most people are browsing social media from a mobile device. So a vertical video or image will always look better. So the social media marketing do's and don'ts for Black Friday. Do post more often. Like I said with email, people are expecting offers from you. It's okay to increase your posting frequency. Next, use a variety of mediums. We discussed this, right? Text, images, video, make sure it's vertical. Don't be afraid to do some live content as well. Branded hashtags, absolutely critical for social media marketing. Again, so that people share your posts and create some of their own user-generated content with your hashtag. Then use FOMO and scarcity. Countdown timers, limited quantities, special editions. We'll talk a little bit more about this before we move on to the next step. What don't you want to do on social media this Black Friday? You don't want to treat your posts like normal promotional posts. We talked about this. This is a special holiday. For a lot of people, people are ready to shop. Make your post stand out, change it up a little bit. And don't ignore customer feedback. I'm sure we have all seen brands getting roasted on Twitter. You do not want to be one of them. If someone complains about your brand publicly, respond to them. If someone thanks you for your product publicly, respond to them. Social media allows you to reach out to brands. You want to be able to do this. So now we have SMS marketing. This will go into a little less detail than some of the previous ones, but with SMS, your job here is to send extremely relevant content that is time sensitive in most cases. So for example, it's perfect for promo codes. If you have never received an SMS promo code, you must live under a rock because this is really common. Next, it's great for brick and mortar stores. This is one of the few cases where it might benefit brick and mortar stores more than online stores. If you have collected phone numbers and from people in your local area, the area of your store, you know that you can send important information about sales or timing because they're in your area and they are interested in this information already. So this is perfect for flash deals, as we mentioned. And one of the biggest benefits of using SMS is that the open rates are extremely high, upwards of 90% in some cases. So this is a surefire way to get a hold of your customers. You just want to make sure you're doing it right. So let's talk about some of the do's of SMM marketing. Ooh, I got ahead of myself. Let's look at some examples. I've selected 3. The first one here is from Old Navy, and you can see it doesn't have a link. It is simply informational, saying that there's 50% off on the entire store. This is a basic Black Friday SMS, but if someone is subscribed to your brand with their phone number, it's worth a try. Reach out to them, tell them about your deal. Next, we have an SMS from Caribou Coffee. This is offering a $25 gift card, or I'm sorry, a free medium drink in addition to the purchase of a $25 gift card. This is an example of the gift marketing that I mentioned earlier. And something important to notice here is that at the bottom, it says text stop to end. I'll talk about this in a few slides. Lastly, we have Babies R Us. And this post, all of these, I think, were sent on Thanksgiving. Yeah, and this post includes a link you can see, and also a hyperlink. This is really useful. Again, this person is opening this on their phone, so the hyperlink allows them to go directly to your site. And pay attention to the fact that this link is not shortened. We'll talk about the importance of that in a second. So, what do you want to do this Black Friday with your SMS marketing strategy? Keep it short and sweet, as you saw. This is not a suggestion, but a necessity, as SMS only allows 160 characters. There are ways to send larger messages that are spliced together, but it doesn't work for all users. So my advice is make sure that you keep your message under 160 characters. You do want to make it easy to unsubscribe. As I said, the SMS open rate is extremely high, which means if you are marked as if you send too many messages or don't have an easy way to unsubscribe, people are going to be very upset with you. There's nothing worse than spam, especially spam that vibrates in your pocket. So make sure that you're not sending spam and that it is easy to unsubscribe. I showed you with the Caribou Coffee, you can text stop. Make sure that you have this option. And don't use a link shortener. Shortened links have become dangerous in the recent past because of all kinds of malware and whatnot. So make sure that you're using either a hyperlink or the full URL to your site in your SMS. So let's talk about a few additional channels. I won't go into as much detail, but these are useful and something you should keep in mind for both Black Friday and potentially future promotions. So the first is pay-per-click ads. We could do multiple webinars on this topic, so we're not going to go into a lot of detail here today, but pay-per-click ads are what you see on Instagram, Facebook, search engines. They are everywhere. They are really important for any marketing strategy. So let's talk a little bit about them. Firstly, they are highly effective, as I'm sure you have clicked a pay-per-click ad probably today already. So you see them everywhere. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but they are, if you create a good one, you are sure to get traffic. That's one huge benefit of pay-per-click ads. They are effective. Additionally, they offer really detailed customization. You can set up a very specific audience, target people similar to your audience, really driving traffic to your site or your other conversion goals. And I skipped ahead of myself. Deep customization. Here you can also use a lot of personalization when you're using pay-per-click ads. So we'll see this in some of the examples in a second. Facebook, Instagram, and Google are the most popular pay-per-click ad platforms, and I have examples from each of them. So this is your typical search ad. I'm sure you've seen plenty of these today. And this you can get through Google Ads. There's a bidding process. We have plenty of information about this on the SendPulse knowledge base. Highly recommend checking it out if search ads are something you are looking into. Now we'll look at some social media pay-per-click ads. A social media pay-per-click ad. You can see this is video content, but the video looks great on a vertical screen like this. And one thing, this is on Facebook, one thing with Facebook ads is you can add CTAs at the bottom. So here you see the Shop Now CTA, which will take a user right to this website. So pay-per-click ads are definitely something you want to look into. And another important option you have are site banners and notifications. This is for internal traffic, although it looks really similar in format to the pay-per-click ads. You're not advertising on a third party, you're advertising on your own website. And these are really effective. We did this for this webinar. Some of you may have seen it on the SendPulse site. There is a notification. And the benefits are it's super easy to set up. It is absolutely free. And since the traffic is coming to your website, you know that these people are already somewhat interested in your brand. They are warm leads. So take advantage of that and try to convert them. Here is the SendPulse Black Friday webinar notification that you may have seen. These are really easy to set up, and you can do it on your own site as well with your new promotion. Here are some more traditional banners. These look a lot like advertisements that you might see on another site. Why not put them on your own site? Of course, you don't want to overdo it, but in special marketing holidays like this, it's a great idea to include some internal advertising. I mentioned at the beginning that we were going to talk about some additional things you can do to really make your offers more effective. So before we move on to the next step, everyone's favorite step, let's talk about some things to keep in mind with when you're designing your campaigns. The most important thing that you can do is create FOMO, or the fear of missing out. Always, this is a popular tactic in marketing, but especially during Black Friday. And a great way to do that is using countdown timers. You can use these for a variety of formats, but today we're going to focus on using them in email. This is an example of a third-party countdown timer service embedded directly into a SendPulse email. And here is another one you can see. Right, we're looking from the MudPie Market one. You can see there's a countdown timer in this email. This is an interesting one that was sent out before Black Friday, counting down to the beginning of Black Friday instead of counting down to the end of a deal. So you have a few options with your countdown timers, but they are definitely appealing, create a sense of urgency, and I think they are effective at bringing traffic to your site. On the left, we have last call, free shipping from Italic here. This is just a typical FOMO, and it is still very effective. It's your last chance. If you want this, now is your time. This is a really effective way still of bringing sales, so don't be afraid to introduce a little FOMO to your marketing campaign. Now we will talk about everybody's favorite part of the process, making sales. I hope that this is what you look like this Black Friday. If your marketing is good, the difficult part, your marketing is good, the selling should be the easy part, right? Let's talk about a few things to keep in mind during this stage in your Black Friday sales. While people are making purchases from you, you want to make sure that your customer service is top-notch. If things went well in the previous step, you'll be receiving a higher volume of traffic and sales than you are used to. That means there will be probably more problems than you are used to. So you want to make sure that your customer service team is ready to go, answer any questions. Again, remain vigilant on social media and other channels. If you have a contact us email, make sure you're checking that account. But an easier way to deal with this is to use a chatbot. Chatbots can answer Chatbots can answer questions and help your users with problems. There we go. SendPulse offers chatbots. I skipped this. SendPulse offers chatbots, and we'll talk about that in a second. So, lastly, step 4, retaining your customers. You have gone through all the steps. You sent out your marketing materials. You made your sales. You might think that you're done now. But if you want to continue growing your business, do not forget step 4. You want to retain your customers. So The idea here is to use subscription forms and promote your content to keep people engaged with your brand. Additionally, encourage your customers to follow you on social media. This is a really easy and popular way to stay in touch with people. If you enjoy what you see on our site, check us out on Instagram. This is really effective. So here are some examples of SendPulse subscription forms. You can create these absolutely for free, and this will fill up your mailing list so you can send emails. Emails, web push notifications, all the services offered at SendPulse using the SendPulse subscription forms. There is another option, though. You don't have to have a form like this. You can have a button at checkout. So this is from Squarespace's site. However, every web platform offers, every e-commerce platform offers this option. So when you go to checkout, you fill in your contact information, and there is a little checkbox to subscribe to a mailing list. This is great, especially if you use a double opt-in. Make sure your subscribers are interested, but this will allow one-time customers to turn into recurring customers. It lets you stay in touch and nurture leads as they continue to purchase from you. So another thing you might want to consider during your subscription options are subscription categories. So for example, in the previous example, if I'm a person going to this e-commerce store and I don't want to subscribe to emails, but maybe I'm interested in future promotions. So subscription categories allow you to personalize the information that people receive from you in your emails or other marketing channels. The important thing here is that you want to allow subscribers to change this whenever they want. So for example, if I subscribe only for your promotions, but later I'm more interested in product updates, you want to allow this in your email, in your actual email templates. At the bottom, you should have an option, update subscription preferences. You can learn all about this in the SendPulse knowledge base. We have a detailed guide for setting up subscription categories, and it's a great idea to do just that. Again, you can do blog updates, news, events, product updates, behind the scenes, and really any other specific categories of content that you send that you want to allow people to subscribe to. Excellent. So now let's pull everything we went over together. I went through this pretty quickly. So let's discuss. Step 1, want to create your offer. In this stage, I strongly recommend using a margin calculator. We talked about this earlier, but it is really important to make sure that you are not a brand that is offering too good of a discount that it hurts your bottom line. Black Friday is an extremely profitable holiday for lots of people, and you want it to be the same for you. While you're creating your offer, you want to choose the style of your offer, of course. Are you going to do BOGO? Are you going to do a percentage discount, etc.? And you want to prepare to share it everywhere, as we discussed, as we will discuss in this step, promoting your offer. Clearly, you need to know your audience. This is something that you already know, but if not, create a customer persona. You will need this moving forward with your business in any case, but especially during Black Friday. Then you want to choose the channels that you're going to use that match your audience, as we mentioned. Then you will design your content. Super important. As we mentioned, you have a lot of headroom here. You can get a little creative. People expect interesting content this time of year, but don't go overboard. You don't want your email to read like a newspaper advertisement, right? And then it is time to share your offer on all of the channels that you have chosen. Of course, step 3, to profit, but you also really want to provide excellent customer service, and chatbots will allow you to do this. And step 4, you need to retain these customers. You can use subscription forms, checkout subscriptions, and you want to keep content coming. Some things that you can consider doing if you are not already creating content to share with customers is things like a weekly or monthly digest. When you publish content, send it in an email. Additionally, blog posts, video content, these kind of things are really popular and they bring people closer to your brand.